Alright guys, we are continuing the series of $100 million money offers by Alex Hormozi, but applying it to cleaning companies specifically. I'm going through each section and deciding whether this would actually be fit for our industry or not. And the things I think are good, I'm going to test and report back to you exactly how it went. So the last section we covered upsell offers. What we're going to cover right now is downsell offers. Now, what is a downsell offer? Pretty much what it means is if someone says, hey, I don't want to buy that, it's too expensive, you have something else to sell them. Now, there's strategic ways of doing downsells, which is ethical, which is doable, which actually makes you convert more. So there's two ways you're going to do downsells and do it in a way which actually converts. You're either going to change how they pay, for example, payments plans and other things we're going to talk about, or you're going to change what they get. One thing which is very important, which Hormozi explains, is do not just downsell and discount the price for the same thing. For example, like I know I've had this experience where I went to like a rental car place abroad, and the person knew I was a foreigner, so he was like, hey, the cost is like $100 a day, and I was like, oh, it's too expensive. He's like, what about 80? And I was like, I still don't want to pay that. And he's like, what about 50? And it was the same freaking thing. And at the end of it, I was like, man, I'm just getting charged the gringo tax. So I didn't trust the guy. I didn't want to buy from him because I just didn't trust him anymore. So I went to someone else who just gave me a fair price from the beginning. Do not just discount the exact same thing. You either have to change the terms of what you're offering in multiple different ways, and that's what we're going to go over here today. Now, there's a lot of ways of downselling. Candidly, what Hormozi talks about in the upsell section, prescription upselling, to me, that's really a downsell. In the book, he has three main types of downsells, which he says he really likes, which you should consider. One is called the payment plan downsell. The other one is the trial with penalty downsell, and the other one is the feature downsell. These all go over either changing how they pay or what they get, just to make it fair, so you're not just downselling and discounting the exact same service. So I'm going to go into them in detail now and let you know my honest opinion. So when people want to buy your thing, especially if it's an expensive thing, a lot of people just don't have that money up front, right? Just pretend you're selling like a painting job and you're like, hey, it's 10 grand. And they're like, dude, I don't have 10 grand right now, but maybe I'll have it later on, right? So there's different ways of getting money from people with some sort of downsell. Now, this is nothing revolutionary. All of us have heard about payment plans and how this actually works. How the book explains it and how Hormozi explains it is there's different ways of going about this. One example of a payment plan downsell is you go to them and you say, hey, I'm going to reward you for paying in full rather than punishing them for paying over a certain period of time. So you'll say something like, hey, the normal price is like $15 for this thing, but if you pay right now, it's only $10. So you're rewarding them for taking quicker action and paying upfront. That's one way of doing it. A lot of times companies do things where they're like, hey, it's $10 if you pay right now, but it's going to be $20 if you pay later. This is effectively the same thing. It just makes you look like the good guy of giving them a discount because they're paying right now. So that's method one of a payment plan downsell. Another one is offering third-party financing. So if it's something very large, you're probably going to have for financing with like a loan or helping people get SBA loans. For example, in franchising, we have tie-ins with SBA brokers because of the franchise fee and stuff. So our franchisees, when they want to sign up, could just talk to an SBA broker since we're SBA approved and get financing that way. For certain things, finding a loan or debt is essentially as easy as putting on a credit card, which most of the US operates from now. So this one's relatively simple. Help them find financing. You could self-finance as well. If so, you have to make sure the payment terms are fair for you. The next couple ways for payment plans are pretty simple. You split it up in 3 different payments instead of 2. So a third now, a third in a month, and a third the month after that. Simple enough. The other one is spread it across the length of how long you're going to be performing the service for them. So pretend you're doing like a 16-week challenge. You charge them weekly instead of all up front for the challenge. Pretty simple. Now, there's a couple tips I like that Hormozi put in the book. One's called seesaw downselling. I really just like this phrase. You're pretty much going to say, hey, would you prefer one giant payment or a bunch of tiny payments? And the person's always going to say a bunch of tiny payments. Then you say, okay, great. Hey, normally it costs this amount of money. And if you're prepaid today, you're going to get a huge discount and 0 monthly payments. Do you want to do that? And then they'll probably say, well, yeah, I'd prefer the discount instead of these tiny payments, which amount to more money. So they're going to do that. So they're going to opt themselves into prepaying for what you have. That's one method I liked from the book of what he mentioned. I actually thought this stat was very interesting in the book, which is relevant for the cleaning industry. A company called ProfitWell that manages subscriptions figured out something. They found if people do monthly billing, so they're billed 12 times in a year, so per month, there was a 10.7% churn rate. If some people were billed quarterly, so just 4 times a year, for the same quantity of service, there was only 5% monthly cancellations. And if they were billed annually, once per year, it was only 2% monthly cancellations on average. Like if people think less about the payments which are coming up, it makes things a lot easier. I kind of like this idea, especially when it comes to like, I don't think I could charge someone for 12 cleanings up front, to be honest, but I might be able to say, hey, I'll give you a discount if you know you're going to do this. Pay for your monthly cleanings up front and just pay for 3 immediately and you get a 10% discount. Kind of like that idea. I might give it a shot. My feedback on the payment plan Downsell, the only thing I liked, honestly, for the cleaning industry is this final one where I tell you you could prepay for X number of cleanings and you get a discount. My honest feedback, though, is I don't think that's going to work as well because people have never used your service. One thing I might try in the sales script would be this. Hey, once you sign up and you want to buy 3 cleanings, they're going to say, no, I've never used you guys. I'll say, great, how about this? Try us out for once. If you want to then sign up for a monthly package after, I will sell you the monthly package. You simply buy 2 cleanings and you're going to get a 20% discount off the normal price if you just pre-purchase those 2 cleanings. I could see that kind of working, but to be honest, that's more like after you've already made the initial sale. So in terms of just upfront payment for like a brand new customer, I don't really think this is great for the cleaning industry for residential because the ticket amount's not that high. You don't need to give someone a payment plan for a $200 cleaning. Maybe for sometimes you do, and someone really doesn't have the money, but candidly, people don't have the money. They're probably not ordering a cleaning service. And most things are credit card based anyway, so they are already taking out loans for the cleaning anyways. I don't think this is great for the cleaning industry, for the residential cleaning industry, in my opinion. The final one to review is called the featured downsell. This is kind of like prescription pricing upsell, but effectively just downselling it. What you're essentially going to do is offer less quantity, lower quality, lower price alternatives, or cutting optional components. So you tell someone like, hey, here's the full suite of what we're doing, and they're like, this is too expensive. Then you'll actually figure out what they actually value and then discount the rest of the stuff. I think with cleaning, honestly, this is going to be the best one. This is by far the most powerful. This is something we all candidly do. I learned some really cool things in here, though, that I'll explain to you of what I would change up. Normally, the way we do it is, hey, your first cleaning is a deep cleaning and it's hourly. It's X, Y, and Z price. They'll be like, oh, no, that's too expensive. And I'll say, okay, great. Tell you what, I can't discount it, but how about this? Why don't you tell me the priority areas of your home, of what you actually care about, and I'll try to decrease the hours for you. And that way, instead of paying for 4 hours, they pay for 3 hours and they get what they actually want done. This, to me, is a very simple, effective downsell that I already teach my team. There's a couple ways of doing this additionally, which I actually really like. One thing which I think would be effective is removing some things in order for them to qualify for a discount. So you can decrease hours, but pretend you don't want to decrease hours. You just, they want the same service, they need a deep cleaning, and you want to give them what they want, but they need a better price. Here's how you could do it without degrading your product. This is focusing on the service quality features. So for us, for example, I think our Mondays and Tuesdays are the least busy days. So I might go to someone and say, hey, look, you don't want to pay $240. I understand. I have a question. Are you available Monday or Tuesday? If so, I might be able to get you a discount because those are slower days and there's less demand. So I could actually maybe get you a better discount there. That's an idea of what you can do. Another idea which I liked would be cancellations. So for us, sometimes people book and then they cancel, right? And then that sucks because we thought we had a booking and we didn't. So another idea I like from these options, there's a lot of options here. There's like speed of response, speed of delivery, service ratio. I'm only going to go over the ones I like. I think cancellations, you could say, hey, no problem. Tell you what, I could lock you in and I could actually give you a 5% discount if you prepay today. Normally we charge you after the cleaning anyways, but as long as you prepay today and confirm your cleaning that you know it's going to happen tomorrow, I can give you a 5% discount. This essentially eliminates any potential churn of them calling another company and being like, oh, I got a cheaper rate. So giving him a discount immediately just to run the payment, I actually like that plan. The other one I actually like would be an insurance or guarantee removal. So we have something called 100% happiness guarantee. If you're not happy with your job, we could help coordinate someone to come out for a couple more hours and fix anything that was missed. You could say, hey, I could decrease the charge for you. So instead of $240, it's going to be $220, but you lose the 100% happiness guarantee. The happiness guarantee is like insurance on it. If you're unhappy, we'll send someone out for a couple hours to fix anything missed. And what Hormozi says is, especially if your guarantee is strong, make the discount less. And oftentimes what happens is this. People just say, oh, well, it's only $20 less. And I kind of like that guarantee because I like security. F it, let me just pay for $20 more and I'll get that. So they oddly resell them into your actual offer by doing this. If you really wanted to, you could say, well, if I decreased it to 3 hours for the minimum, I cannot give you the guarantee because we don't offer it for 3 hour minimums. Is that okay? That's something else you could do as well. So pretty much sifting away the stuff that you don't want or the customer doesn't want, moving them to a schedule that actually makes sense for you and is going to help your operations, that's worth a discount. And you're also not just discounting the exact same service. The last cheat code I liked from here, which we kind of do, but I need to train my sales team to do again, is give them a discount in exchange for online reviews or referrals to their friends. So you can say something like this, just barter. Like, hey dude, I'll bet this. I can knock off $50. We had a promo which was running previously, but it's actually over. So I'll charge you the full right now. And as soon as you leave a review on Google as well as Yelp and post a video testimonial for me, I could give you a $50 refund back immediately. How's that sound? You're essentially bartering, right? You know, there's rules where you can't pay to get a 5-star review, but you could incentivize people just to leave a review and whatever they leave and whatever they leave. I like that. That's worth more because you're essentially getting more customers for $50 or whatever you're offering. So I think that's a pretty effective one. My conclusion on the downsell section, the one which I think will work is the feature downsell. That's by far number one. I'd say the second one, which like maybe could work, would be a payment plan option, but I just don't see this being that big of a deal for the cleaning industry. There's certain ways you could get them to prepay for multiple months. I've tried doing that option. Most people don't want to do it because they've never used your service before. They don't know for sure. It's probably ways of making guarantees to make sure they feel happy about it, but whatever. And the last one I don't like at all is a trial with penalty. I just don't think it's going to work for what we're doing over here. So that's my review of the downsell section.